evening, this is Primetime News on TV1 and I am Jamal Ratnayaka.
I'm Nicola D'Souza. Here are your headlines.
Several today. Signs of Parliament being reconvened before the 16th. Who has a majority in Parliament? Ranil Wickremesinghe says he has the backing of more than 113 in Parliament. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa hints of potential election.
Now, several cabinet appointments were sworn in earlier today actually. To explain about the current political situation in the country, we are now joined by News First Chaturanga Hapuarachi and Faraz Shaukat Ali. Chaturanga.
Hi Jamal, thank you very much. Good evening to our viewers. We have Faraz as well. Good evening to you, Faraz.
Evening, Chaturanga.
Interesting events at the Presidential Secretariat a short while ago where several cabinet ministers, deputy ministers and state ministers were sworn in. Faraz, you have the details with you.
Indeed, yes, this is the continuation of the coverage of the constitutional or political crisis that has afflicted this country. And News First is bringing you the news as and when it happens. And here we go. Ministers, deputy ministers and state ministers were sworn in this evening. They included Davinder Dissanayake, the Minister of Irrigation, Water Resources and Disaster Management.
Actually, we are seeing, we have a full picture taken at the time of the swearing in before President Maithripala Sirisena. You can see it on your screen right now. For us.
And Davinder Dissanayake is wearing his famous blue suit. And then we have Dayasri Jayasekara, who's been appointed the new Minister of Skills Development and Vocational Training. And Pirsena Gamage, State Minister of Youth, Women and Child Affairs. Lakshman Seneviratne, the State Minister of Defence. And Mr. MLAM Hizbullah, the State Minister of Highways and Road Development. And Mohanlal Grero, the State Minister of Education and Higher Education. Sriyani Vijay Wickrama, the State Minister of Provincial Councils, Local Government and Sport. Angajan Ramanathan, the Deputy Minister of Agriculture. Manusha Nanekara, the Deputy Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment.
And for us, Indika Bandaranayake was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Housing and Urban Development. Sarathi Dushmanta was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Justice and Prison Reforms. Nishantha Muthuhettigama, a serious ministry this time around, the Deputy Minister of Ports and Shipping. Kader Mastan, the Deputy Minister of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Northern Development. And interestingly for us, the ministries, the subject ministries of Law and Order, Defence and Youth Affairs was taken under the President at the Presidential Secretariat. Now, according to the details that we have, we saw several ministers, deputy ministers being sworn in on a previous occasion as well. 12 ministers and one state minister and a deputy minister. Today, two list of state ministers, deputy ministers and ministers were sworn in, and the subjects pertaining to defence, law and order and youth affairs were taken under the President. Are we seeing any more swearing-ins in the future?
Well, they say that we can expect some more tomorrow, but of course we mustn't speculate. We must do our duty by the people, and which is to report and to explain the news, and that's what News First has been doing. Team News First has done an absolutely marvellous job. We mustn't forget that it's not just the people you see on your screen, but there are lots of reporters and colleagues out there working in the control room and everywhere else.
Faraz,
and of course, sorry Chaturanga, I just thought I must tell you that Sri Lanka remains a calm and peaceful place amongst all this political goings on.
Definitely.
I think it's important that we make that point, because there have been some sort of attempts internationally to
exactly
say
where I'm getting
otherwise.
at for us. This afternoon, the Government Information Department sent out a media release asking people to be prudent and wise when selecting the information that they receive, and to make sure that they are not misled by various false information that is being shared on social media, and this is once again what we too reiterate: do not be misled by the false information that is circulating. With that, for us, I also have information to say that the Ministry of Finance has brought prices of a number of goods and services down with effect from midnight today. I'm going to take you through we'll take you through the list of the products that have been reduced. The prices have been reduced. The price of a litre of 92 octane petrol has been reduced by 10 rupees to 145 rupees, while the price of a litre of diesel has been reduced by 7 rupees to 116 rupees. Lubricants, including 2T lubricants used in three-wheelers and small agricultural engines, reduced by 10 rupees per litre. Telecommunication levy by 25%, which was 25%, will be reduced to 15%, a 10% reduction. Special commodity levy on a kilogram of dal and chickpeas has been reduced by 5 rupees. The special commodity levy on a kilogram of black gram has been reduced by 25 rupees. Customs duty will also be waived off on wheat grain for 2 rupees 9 per kilogram from existing waiver of 6 rupees per kilogram. Sugar will be brought under the special commodity levy, whereby the applicable taxes on sugar will also be reduced by 10 rupees per kilogram.
And of course, a very important announcement that the income tax rate for professional services will be reduced from 24% to 14%, reduction of 10% there. And that's a very important thing. Withholding tax will be exempted on interest on any savings and fixed deposits maintained in any financial institution. That's another very encouraging reduction there. To encourage local entrepreneurs, professionals and migrant workers to remit their earnings in foreign currency on services provided outside Sri Lanka, income tax will be exempted on such remittances. And finally, the VAT threshold will be increased from 12 million per annum to 24 million per annum.
That is the update we have in terms of what is happening in the country politically and the price reductions that were just sent through by the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Finance a short while ago. So we will keep you, as Farah said, updated about whatever is happening in the country in terms of the political situation. And a reminder to our viewers that we have a special Facebook group that has been set up under the title News First, Continue the Conversation. You can search it up on Facebook, where you will find all the updates relating to the political situation in the country. You can express your comments there on this group on Facebook, which is News First, Continue the Conversation. While reminding you to stay tuned to all the political action with News First, we will keep you updated on our social media platforms through our News First alerts on SMS, and once again on this group, News First, Continue the Conversation. We'll hand our segment back to the main desk where Nicola and Jayamal are standing by.
Thank you for that update, Chaturanga and Faraz. Meanwhile, the Speaker's media stated that the seat reserved for the Prime Minister will be allocated for Mahinda Rajapaksa when the Parliament convenes. The statement noted that this was due to a Gazette notification issued claiming Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister.
All state employees must comply with the latest Gazette notifications issued by the government. The Speaker said that government officials have implemented measures to facilitate this process. The Speaker clarified that he will not intervene in the process of state officials providing facilities to the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that an announcement will be made tomorrow regarding relief that will be given to the people.
We hope the Parliament will be convened on the 5th. Even the President has decided to convene it on the 5th. The people have hope, and I think the stock market is clearly rising. We have nothing to fear on convening the Parliament on the 5th, and that is what the Speaker has said. Under the Constitution, the Speaker has no right to convene the Parliament or to urge the President to do so. I think the Speaker has gone above the power he is vested with, and it is bad for his reputation. We clearly say that everything has been done under a legal framework. Nothing is illegal.
Speaking further, the Premier said that they are prepared for an election at any given time.
We do not have high hopes. I am not a magician to change things in 6 months, but there will be a need to do so up to a certain extent. The easiest way to go for an election is to defeat me through a budget, and I give my fullest blessings for that if the UNP wants to do it, because even I want an election to be held. So we are prepared to face everything. Yesterday, the three-wheeler union reduced 5 rupees after I gave a basic introduction about our policies. We see that the tax are way too high and systems of taxation has been a mess. This has discouraged the businessmen and they are not coming forward. Tomorrow, I will be publishing the relief that will be given to the people through a gazette.
ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්නේ මේ වගේ තත්ත්වයක් ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා. මූලික සාහන ටිකක් හෙට. මූලික සාහන ටිකක් හෙට මම ගැසට් කරනවා.
A group of UPFA MPs met with President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat today.
We discussed matters relating to organizing activities in Parliament. No, the Parliament will be convened on the date previously determined. No, he did not make such a statement. He said maybe. However, no such decision has been made yet.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව කවද රැසින් පස්සෙන්ද?
ඒක ජනාධිපතිතුමා ගන්න තීරණයක්.
ඔව් අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාද විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ආචාර්යවරු හමුවේ ඔය ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටියා පස්සෙන්ද රැසින් තීරණය කරා කියලා.
The day the Parliament will be convened will be decided by the President.
Two former Indian foreign secretaries met and held a discussion with the leader of the opposition, R. Sambandhan, today.
The Tamil National Alliance said that former Foreign Secretaries Lalit Man Singh and Professor Sukhdeo Moni participated in this discussion. The discussion was centered around the current political situation in Sri Lanka.
MP Ajit P. Pereira said the UNP will claim a majority when Parliament is convened. He made these remarks during a media briefing in Temple Trees today.
The Parliament is to be convened on the 5th of this month instead of the 16th. This is an achievement. We will solve this issue on the 5th. Until then, we will remain in these premises. Thereafter, we will respect democracy and act according to the majority in power. It is now up to the government. This book written by Erskine on parliamentary practices is what we use as reference. This is our standing order which includes all parliamentary traditions and law procedures. From recent times, a rumor circulating states that a no-confidence motion will not be brought forward for a debate when Parliament is convened on the 5th. The no-confidence motion will only be debated in Parliament after a period of 1 month. This country does not have a Parliament that can be changed according to our wishes. The Parliament's agenda can only be prepared by the Speaker of the House. We believe that the Speaker will decide on which side holds confidence. I believe his decision will comply with the Constitution, standing orders and Parliament traditions with a practical approach to solve this issue. Based on standing orders, there are two methods to decide majority. Voting by the raise of hands and the other is voting electronically. We are ready to go forward based on instructions given by the Speaker. Definitely. That is why we say we have emerged victorious in the first round. It is those who lack majority that have extended parliament sessions until the 16th and created instability in the country. They are attempting to buy over weak people.
Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed by several former ministers, including SP Disanayake, at a media briefing held today.
I would like to inform you all that 95 of us will stand with the Maitri Mahinda government without a doubt. There were also several people who wanted to cross over but were reluctant. Even they came today and met us. There were several more former ministers willing to join us, but we will cleanse them before taking them in. Because our next government will be clean and a pure one. We are going to build a strong government. I won't be the one with 113, 114, 115 MPs, but one with 123 MPs. We will go to the backbenchers and remain in that government.
අපි ඒ ආණ්ඩුවේ ඉඳගෙන නිරාමිස සතුටක් ලබන්න අපි බොහොම කැමැත්තෙන්
අඩු පහගෙන කතා කරනවනේ දැන් අතරයක් දෙන්නට පුළුවන් කියන්නේ අදහස් තියෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ අවලිස්සතාවයක් තිබුණාට අනුපහ නැති වෙයි කියලා.
ඔව්.
ඒකත් හේතුව.
ඒක අපි සමහර අය ආවේ නෑ. සමහර අය පස්ස ගැහුවා. ඉතින් එහෙම තිබ්බා.
අද මධ්‍යම කාර්ය සභාවේදී පෙන්නන්නේ
නෑ. මේ රෑ වෙනකොට අපි ගණන් සේරම ඉවර කරගන්නවා.
දැන් වෙනසක් නෑ මහත්තයෝ.
There is no segregation now. Duminda and them are good friends of ours. The 95 have united. I go and sign checks every day. Otherwise, we cannot run this. 123 crossed over. We are starting to hear that the UNP had offered money. However, we have not offered such money. The government has not yet formed. We do not need to do such a thing. The JVP MPs have money. There are people who are willing to come for free.
MP Sagala Ratnayaka states all government officials must respect the law and constitution of the country, and deliberate violation of the law is a punishable offence.
Issuing a release, Sagala Ratnayaka notes orders given out by officials who were appointed illegally does not have a legality. He stressed once the present crisis is resolved, legal action will be taken against such individuals. Sagala Ratnayaka went on to say not only the UNP but all other political parties should come to an agreement when the crisis needs to be solved in Parliament.
In a special statement, the Government Information Department says it's paramount that all citizens in the country act wisely at a time when measures have been taken for the political and economical stability in the country.
It adds, in order to weaken national unity and understanding, certain groups are spreading misleading and false information through various platforms. In the statement carrying the signature of the Director General Nalaka Kalueva of the Government Information Department, requests the people of the country not to be deceived by such misleading and false information which have no basis at all. The Government Information Department urges the people to be vigilant of such misleading news for the betterment of the country.
Speaking at a media briefing at the Temple Trees, the UNP backbenchers say they are being provided offers in the guise of money to cross over to the government.
And was it offered to you, one of you as well?
200 to 300 million rupees, I think that's about, I don't know, over 1 million, nearly $2 million.
They get calls?
Yeah, they get calls. My colleague, Hesha Vitanage, he has got calls, he has been offered.
It is a sad situation if our MPs were agreeing to deals while there are conspiracies going on in the country. Mahinda Rajapaksa and Maithripala Sirisena were hoping to get more from our party yesterday. We say that it is over. UNP MPs will sacrifice their lives to stop these rogues who stole people's tax money to now destroy democracy. On behalf of the UNP, we will make the public mandate given to us a reality.
4 new ambassadors, including the US ambassador to Sri Lanka, handed over their credentials to President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat this morning.
Elena Teplitz was appointed the US ambassador to Sri Lanka. Akira Sugiyama has been appointed as the Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka. Eric Levertu has been appointed ambassador of the Republic of France. Ashraf Haidari has been appointed as the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan.
The Executive Committee of the Eisenhower Fellowships Board of Trustees in the US has endorsed the recommendation to present the 2019 Distinguished Fellow Award to the Eisenhower Fellows of Sri Lanka. The announcement was made by the President of Eisenhower Fellowships, George De Lama.
This award honors the collective role that the country has played in healing the post-war scars during a critical period of reconciliation in the country. This award also recognizes the engagement with and support of the Eisenhower Fellowships in our nation and our region. Ever since its establishment in 2008, this is the second time that it has been awarded on a national basis. The Eisenhower Fellowship President congratulates on this remarkable recognition of the country's achievement and contributions to Eisenhower Fellowship's mission to create a world more peaceful and prosperous.
When newly appointed Minister of Tourism and Wildlife Wasantha Senanayake was questioned if he switched sides for privileges, here's what he said.
රටේ යම්කිසි ආందోලනයක් තියෙන ඔබතුමන්ලා හිටු පක්ෂය අතහැරලා වෙනත් පක්ෂයකට යම්කිසි වරප්‍රසාද යම්කිසි ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් පැතිමාරු කරා කියලා ඒ වගේ
මම පක්ෂ මාරු කරලානේ මීට කලිනුත් අවස්ථා කීපයක
I have not switched parties. Civil
Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca expressed the following views at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
Democracy has been locked in a coffin and the last nail has been hammered. There is an old saying that goes as birds of a feather flock together. Such individuals have realized the continuation in the UNP will not lead to a presidential candidate from the party. Minor parties are protecting the Prime Minister while we trust that a group of SLPers will join us. Former President of the Maldives Mohamed Nasheed returned home to a hero's welcome today as thousands took to the seas of Malé and flooded the streets to welcome him. News First's Ramesh Baldara filed this report.
Former President Mohamed Nasheed was residing in Sri Lanka for a number of years following his conviction in relation to terrorism charges. However, soon after the election victory of MDP candidate Ibrahim Soleh, Nasheed announced his intention of returning to his homeland. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court of Maldives issued a ruling which suspended the 13-year jail term of former President Nasheed. Supporters of the MDP flocked in their numbers as they overtook the streets of Malé and Nasheed marched on towards his party head office. He later held a public rally during which he praised the people of Maldives for not backing down and demanding the leadership they deserve. He noted that both he and President-elect Soleh are indebted to the people of the Maldives. Ramesh Bandara for News First from Malé, Maldives.
We apologize for the technical difficulty we faced during one of our previous reports. Meanwhile, in more local news, when newly appointed Minister of Tourism and Wildlife Vasantha Senanayake was questioned if he switched sides for privileges, here's what he said.
අනුවිත රටේ යම්කිසි ආందోලනයක් තියෙන ඔබතුමන්ලා හිටු පක්ෂය අතහැරලා වෙනත් පක්ෂයකට යම්කිසි වරප්‍රසාද යම්කිසි ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් පැතිමාරු කරා කියලා ඒ වගේ
මම පක්ෂ මාරු කරලානේ මීට කලිනුත් අවස්ථා කීපයක
I have not switched parties. Several people have joined the government following an invitation by the president in the past. That is to run the government. It is a lawful task, not a crossover.
ඒක නීති අනුකූල වැඩක් ඒ පක්ෂ මාරුවක් නෙමෙයි.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thanks for joining us. For the News First team, I'm Nicola D'Zoiza.
And I'm Zamal Ratnayaka.
Take care
Good
and
night.
good night.